What is up, everybody? I am back again with a couple more overviews. Today we're going to be overviewing the Axcel Driver, buddy, focus, versus the Axcel Landslide. Okay, so we're going to dive into the Driver first. So the Driver just came out for 2025, and it is a pretty cool sight. Couple things to note with this sight. It is light as hell. So this thing, as it sits without a scope, is just under 6 ounces. So super light. This is the bridge lock, so very light. After that, that's kind of where, in my opinion, it starts to dive off of cool features. The inside here, I guess this is a good feature. It's got 3 indicators that are all adjustable. I like that. Find that's really good. Most people are shooting between a 1 and 3 pin, so that should work for most people. If you're shooting a 4 or 5 pin, you're kind of out of luck with having every single pin having an indicator. On the other side here, you can see this little screw. That is a micro adjust for your first axis. So this sight only has a first axis and a third axis adjustment. This has a locked second axis, and I'm not a fan of that, and I'll explain that more in a little bit. But so right here and here, you're going to loosen that up, and you can tweak this and get that level. So that's good for your bow tech that he's able to have that. So that is a good feature about the sight. Now I'm going to start diving into the parts of the sight that I have quite a few gripes with. The first being the wheel here. Their whole thing with the sight is that it's more compact and it's lighter, yada yada yada. Great. Well, now you have a problem of that this is too tight, and you like to rub your thumb against this rail right here. So unless you're like right out on the edge of this wheel, which you don't have much grip, then you don't have a lot of space. I really wish they would have brought this out like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch and made this wheel a little bit wider, but there's not much there to it. So to me, I'm not a fan of that. That kind of sucks, because I literally, every time I pick this up in a natural position, I rub my thumb against the rail right here. So you have the lock here up in the front. It does lock down super well. I will say that. I do like how well it locks down. I don't like that when it's in the complete unlock position, it rubs against the wheel because it's so tight up against that. And then the problem with that is also trying to get your finger between the two. I mean, it's not that big a deal if you're like just out shooting in your backyard or something, but if you're out hunting and you're trying to lock that down, that movement trying to get in there just kind of sucks. So I don't like that. And then it feels kind of like, if it is touching it, it feels like a rumble strip, and you can kind of hear it. So good and bad with that. So then you have your zero stop up here, which you can adjust. That's good. That's the same feature on the Axcel. Coming on the inside, this is your left and right adjustment. I do like that the lock is on the inside, because on the Landslide, it was on the outside right here, and I would always have issues with this thing becoming unlocked. And then on my old one, not this one, but the first one that I had, this was a little bit looser. The tension wasn't there, so it would actually walk a little bit if you were like on a bumpy road or something. Like on a UTV. So coming back to this, you have this adjustment on the inside for the windage. I'm not a huge fan of that, just because I don't think that's going to be natural because you'll have to reach around and you'll have to do it on the inside, which every other site is on the outside. Maybe I'm being picky with that. I just don't like it. You'll also have an issue with the spacing of your scope being so close to this that it's going to be kind of a pain to be able to make those adjustments with that on. Obviously, I don't have one on this, so just so you can get a better picture of everything. So it does have the quick detach, so you can, remove the scope head, put another one on. I find that this on both of these is utterly pointless because of the fact that the micro adjust is connected to the actual sight and not to the actual bar. So if I put a different head on this, I have to macro adjust it. Otherwise, I'm going to mess up my micro adjust position on my other scope that was on here. So it's like, why even do it? If that's going to be something that you want to do, you should probably put that on the part that comes off. So that's just my opinion. To me, it doesn't really make much sense to have this so it can quick detach, I guess for storage, but it's really not too big of a deal. Now, this thing also does not have a second axis adjustment. The Axcel does, the Landslide does. It's here and here, and then you can turn the head. So this, you can't individually turn the scope head, which, coming from being a manufacturer for 10 years in the firearms industry, making parts for, all kinds of different guns, and going, from one manufacturer to the other, you have tolerance, you're stacking tolerances. Even in this own sight, you're stacking tolerances this whole way coming out. So the fact that you can't adjust this individually, you may have some issues down the road. Because they claim it's perfect, but I don't know how you can do that when there's so many tolerances between here and here that could lead to an issue. They said that they did this to make this more compact and shorter. And I'm just going to give you guys a visual. And we're going to talk from where it actually mounts to the bar itself to the scope rod here. And I'm just going to give you guys a visual, see if that's going to adjust. You can see it's a little bit shorter. It's not even the thickness of that scope rod shorter. So I really don't think that did anything. The only thing that it did do is make this lighter, which kudos to them. They have the lightest sight. That's missing some key features in my opinion, but I don't think this is a terrible sight. I don't think that this is a bad sight at all. I personally am not going to run this. I cannot get over the issue of the thumb wheel. The other stuff I could probably get over with the second axis and the adjustment on the inside. I guess it would really depend on my sight if that's going to matter or not. If I can get a true second axis level, that would be great in the future. But other than that, I think that the Landslide is going to be what I keep this year for my backup. So because right now I'm going to be running the Nitrix. I just think that sight's just way better in my opinion than what is currently out there for this year's models. The Landslide, I don't have any issues with. Some people have issues with this wheel touching the thumb, and I can see that can be an issue for some people, especially if this is in the right position of that. So that would be my only gripe with this guy. It's not nearly as bad as the Driver when it comes to that issue, but I don't think that this is, that much less of a sight than this to upgrade and spend the money. I probably will not be keeping this. I just don't think it's worth to have in my arsenal compared to this. This works just fine. I will be running the nitrix this year. This in my opinion is the correct way to go. You have a true first axis adjustment, you have a true second axis adjustment, and your third axis adjustment is back here. This is a way better system in my opinion than the third axis adjustment on Axcel's. I don't like this system. This system, you can put a lot of torque on this and you're able to move that because of the head right there. This is quite a bit harder to move. Yeah, I think this, like even like the wheel position on this, to me is just way better. So I like this driver. It does weigh more. It's about 4 ounces more, but I'm going to give up, you know, the weight to have the features that in a sight bar that I want. This you can also add more indicators. So if you have a 4-pin or a 5-pin, you can actually put more indicators on there. So that's what's great about this sight. Yeah, so that's kind of the deal between the driver and the Landslide. My personal opinion, I don't think it's an upgrade. I will not be using it this year. I think they missed a couple of marks in my opinion. Go ahead, comment down below what you think. If you love the driver, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. If you haven't used it, but this video helped you decide if you're going to or not, let me know. I just want to make sure that you guys are prepared for this year. I'm going to try to give you every review that I can of all this equipment. I'm going to give you guys like true mechanical base reviews. It's not going to be opinionated when it comes to like what I love or what I hate. It's just going to be like true mechanics. Like these are the mechanics of the sight. This is why I like the mechanics of that sight and things like that. So it's not going to be that I love this company more than others. It's just going to be true based on facts of what the mechanical dynamics of each of these components are and why one is better than the other. So yeah, I hope you guys like these reviews. If you want to see more, comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. If there's a certain sight bar that you think that you want to know about, just let me know and I'll do a review on it. So thanks guys.